Hey, Mr. Ryder.
Oh, good morning. Hold on, let me make sure I'm in there.
Good morning.
Okay, I got my tablet covering up my stream screen. Hopefully, I don't end up on the wrong scene too often today. I can't see it. How you doing this morning?
I'm doing pretty good. Waiting to go to work. I can't get in there too quick because people are taking their kids to school, kind of stuff. So it's better if I show up around 9 instead of early. So I won't be on for too long.
Gotcha.
When you're doing a remodel, you don't want to intrude into their lives.
Oh yeah, yeah. I got that. That's what I did most of my life. So. I'm just goofing off with. I'm having to find add-on programs to find stuff to do here. I played with the hell I got voice macro, the voice program for a few days. Now I'm looking at this tablet program. They have a tablet program similar to Game Glass. Is what I'm playing with.
What's it do exactly?
Exactly the same thing Game Glass does. It turns your tablet into a controller. Tablet or a phone, turns it into a control device where you control different aspects of the game through the tablet. I've
Well,
even,
that voice command thing sounds real interesting to me. You were saying you could do lock-on missiles.
it
Uh,
works. I don't know how if I'm doing it wrong. Because I see people spam missiles, and for what I see, I can lock and then fire, but then I got to lock again, and I don't know how they spam them, and I got to figure that out before I can control it
Oh,
through voice.
I think you get several locks and then fire them, so it just fires a volley. I
Oh,
think they
okay.
cut that back because it used to be like a Connie could kill anyone because it used to have 24 missiles or something, or more than that, and you could just lock them all on one guy and then just drop a whole salvo on anyone.
Okay, well maybe I'm not doing it wrong. Well, the one I'm using is free. It's in my Discord somewhere. I think in the Dropbox or whatever. But even the profile I'm using, so all my commands, but it's pretty cool. When I first started, I play with these. As a user said once, you're a tinkerer, and I guess I am because, I got that program, figured out how to use it, and I didn't expect to ever use it again, other than figuring out how to use it. Right,
Uh,
just the knowledge of how it's done. I probably didn't need it. Right. But actually, there's a couple of commands that I find really useful. So yeah, it's nice if say you're sitting back and you're drinking your coffee and you don't have to reach for that odd key that's not where not close to where you're at or whatever sometimes. So for that, it's kind of fun. But it's what I've kind of been looking for one like voice attack, and I'll get voice attack eventually when I get the money, but I've always got other things that I'd rather spend the money on, so so I ended up finding that freeware version, and basically, as far as I can see, it'll do everything voice attack will do.
oh, really? Well, hey man, could you drop that in the link? I'd like to check that out.
It's yeah. Hold on, just a second. Let me.
Because for me, it's kind of the same thing. I would love to be able to.
Okay, it's like the fourth one up in Dropbox. It's called Voice Macro.
I would like to do like point lock, like lock onto that front lock or whatever, and that way it locks on the one right in front of me instead of me trying to find the right button on the floor.
Well, get the program Voice Macro, and I even use the zip file rather than the installer. So it doesn't need registry entries or anything. I mean, it's a self-contained program, but you can get the installer, and then that XML right under the voice macro net is mine, and one of them it's just the one key, right? And that's target reticle focus. If you're pointing at somebody and you want to target that person, it's just the one key on your keyboard. It'll target whoever you're pointing at. And so I basically just assign that to a voice command, target ahead. It automatically targets who I'm looking at. But yeah, that's a good one because if you're flying in and around boulders or whatever, and the one key is bad for me because my small finger, my little finger on my left hand, years and years ago, I cut some tendons in that finger and it doesn't bend. The very end knuckle doesn't bend at all, and so typing or hitting keys with that finger isn't a good deal. I can't feel it or anything else. So yeah, anything I can use to get rid of those keys is a benefit for me. But yeah, there's a couple of them that I like. Man, that's pretty cool. I could even start the game with mine. Start launchers
Oh,
and
really?
yeah, you can do all kinds of stuff. It'll play sound bits, if you have them, and or anything you want to do with it. Really, anything you can do with your keyboard and mouse, you should almost just about be able to do with that. And if you know how to do scripting in Python, I think maybe I don't know, or C sharp or C++, I guess. If you know how to do scripting, you can get it to do really advanced shit. But I don't know any of that.
Well, I saw Nerd Show and Tell. He would come into, so he must have done some pretty advanced stuff because he would fly into Port Olisar and say refuel, and it would do all the refueling. So I'm sure you can't do that without some script.
I haven't. I don't know that he can do that because, as far as I know, I mean, he'd have to have an SDK from the game. As far as I know, there are no keybind available for the MFDs. I mean, all these programs do is emulate keybinds.
Okay.
That's really all they
So you
are.
could say like wave.
Uh, well, only if you have it bound to a keyboard key. You see what I'm
Yeah.
saying? All it does is emulate a key press or multiple key press or whatever. Now that's what I'm looking at with this screen thing, the LEA program I'm looking at today, because it's editable. It doesn't have a social tab like Game Glass. It's basically similar to Game Glass. It's even got a pretty cool little HUD and everything. Maybe an infinite load here. Kill launcher. I like that. Just gone. But yeah, but it doesn't have a social screen, but you can customize it. But I have a feeling that may be beyond me. Start launcher. Start game. Uh oh, why have I got two? So yeah, but is what I'm wanting to do is like all the social, I don't know what you call them, emotes. That there's I noticed one of the keys that they don't use is control. So my idea is to set all the socials. I mean, in game, you'd have to set it up in game first. Go to options and set all your, because all these programs, either one of them do is emulate a key press or multiple key press or start music. I mean, they do more than that, but that's their basic function. And then use control as a modifier. In other words, control 1, control 2, which would be a new key combination, which means it wouldn't do anything as far as the game goes. It wouldn't be changing my shields or my power or whatever, right? But I should be able to create a social tab using an extended modifier that's not being used in the game. In other words, a 2 key press that the game doesn't use. But I haven't done anything more than just glance at the project manager they have, and yeah, it may be a little more complex than I'm going to get into. But yeah, you could do it with that. You could do the same thing. I mean, and now that you mention that, I'll have to try that. I'll try that today. You could do the same thing with the voice control. You sure could, so long as it's got a key combination to emulate that's not being used in the game, right? You'd have to find some key combinations that the game's not using, so you could assign them to those emotes or whatever they call them, and then yeah, it would work. So I'll have to try that because that's
So
one of
I
the
guess
main.
like Alt 3 or something like that.
Well, see, Alt is already a modifier for the game. In other words, Alt 3. Let me look at the options.
You could still
It has to be
use
something
that,
that,
right?
well, you could, but it's already being used, so it might do more than, so it might do more. Yeah. In other words, right now, Alt 3 is cycle enemy targets backward, so you wouldn't want to use that.
Uh-huh.
I mean,
What about numpad
Alt
3?
is already a modifier. If you look at my
Well, what about Alt numpad 3?
again, you're not listening to me. Alt is a modifier. It's already being used. So if you,
Okay, so like
but
if I
control,
do
but control
Alt
isn't
numpad 3, then that's still not good because Alt also works with Alt
AC. Well, let's see. What's AC here?
all kinds of things, right? You can't use Alt,
You
period.
could use Alt Numpad 3 because the modifier isn't for that. It's only through 1 through 5 and R. The modifier only works is only set up right now by default. I'm looking at the in-game map, the
So whenever you
keybinds
say
map.
wave, it'll tell the computer Alt 3.
I was going to use right control because it's not being used assigned in the game at all. So yeah, I was going to use right control plus numpad 1 through 0 and even
Yeah.
numbers, keyboard
Yeah.
numbers 1 through 0. That
That
would
might
give me
even be better.
that
Yeah,
would give
because that
me
stay away from
20
Alt.
new key combinations to a set for just a social tab, right? I mean, because you don't actually
Yeah.
have to hit the keybinds, right? That's what the program emulates. You just have to have something new that it can emulate, and then tie it in game. So you'd have to set up a profile for it to work. Either way. But I should be able to do it with the voice control too. I mean, it does exactly the same thing as this tablet program. So yeah, I'll give that a shot. As a matter of fact, let's go in here. Keybinds, custom, social, right? Yeah, social emotes. That's what they call them. Uh, what should I do? Burp. Let's go cheer. See if it'll allow me to do yes. Control plus number pad 1 is now cheer. Okay. Return to game. Get up. Get up.
Getting up.
And then control plus number pad 1, is that what I said?
I don't remember.
I think so.
I'm out here dodging lasers.
And I'm just gonna name it cheer. Alright, keyboard. And I did right control plus end or numpad 1. And then I'll go ahead and add a text so I know it's cheering. Okay. Save. See if it works. Cheer.
Cheering.
Cheer.
Cheering.
Does not appear to be working.
Uh-oh. So it only works if it's on one button?
Oh wait, those have to be put into it's no, no, it should work. Either something's wrong with my keyboard combination. Let me edit my thing. I don't have it set just right. Let's do either one.
Well, after I knock out all the satellite comma ray things around Hurston, I might head back to Crusader and try and find some bounties. Bounties are not working around Hurston for me. I don't know if they work around Crusader for me. I don't know what the deal is, but should I like erase my user folder, you think?
I don't know. You got to be in Hurston to get these, and the other side only has a couple of them. Cheer.
Cheering.
Damn it! I'll have to play with that. I was hoping I could set it to 2 key combinations, but it may not want me to.
That's crazy because I can like on my phone I can say a complete address and it'll understand me, which is amazing.
Well, it's understanding. There's no doubt about that. That's why I added the text. It's something to do with the way either I've got the right. Let's try something other than right key. Right control 2. Because it's picking it up as right control delete. I gotta change the command. It's something in there here. It could be one of these too. Cheer.
Cheering.
Yeah, anyway.
Huh.
Yeah, I'll have to figure that out. It's something in the controls that I'm not doing right on this voice macro.
Yeah, you let me know what you do. That sounds cool.
I'll bet I can figure out why. I mean, I'll bet if I set it to a single key, well, as a matter of fact, that would be a good test, right? Let's change this to wave. Uh-oh. My keyboard's not acting right. Huh. Something's odd with the... And it can't even... let's delete that one. Couldn't edit it there. What the hell? The keyboard's not working. Okay. May have found an issue with this program. It may have borked my USB controller. Alright, it's this program. Shut that down.
That's not good.
No, it's not. Well, I mean, I'm sure. Yeah, see, I can't type. I don't know what it's doing. It's like it's double clicking or single clicking. I'm gonna reboot the PC and get that right. Maybe that control, maybe there's a reason they didn't use that right control. And I guess I'm gonna be off stream and everything.